The scent of old money and fresh lilies hung heavy in the air of the Hartley estate, a cloying perfume that usually made Elias Hartley want to bolt. But today, it was his sister Beatrice's wedding, and bolting wasn't an option, especially not with his formidable mother, Evelyn, giving him the look, the one that silently screamed, "Why are you still single, Elias? And where is your plus one?" Elias, heir to the Hartley tech empire, could code algorithms that revolutionized industries, but he couldn't navigate a simple conversation with an eligible bachelorette without feeling like his tongue had been replaced by a wad of cotton. He was, to put it mildly, cripplingly shy. He retreated to the expansive kitchen, seeking refuge in the rhythmic clatter of catering staff. That's where he saw her, amidst the controlled chaos. Clara, she, was meticulously arranging miniature quiches on a silver tray, her movements precise and graceful, a stark contrast to the harried energy around her. Clara had been the Hartley family's head housekeeper for 2 years, a quiet, efficient woman with eyes that held an intriguing depth, like calm pools reflecting an endless sky. Elias had always observed her from a respectful distance, fascinated by her serene competence. "Clara," he blurted out, the sound echoing too loudly in his own ears. She looked up, a faint, polite smile touching her lips. "Mr. Hartley? Is everything to your satisfaction?" He took a deep breath. "Actually, Clara, I have a rather unusual proposition." He explained his predicament, the looming pressure of his family, the dread of another social interrogation. "I need a date for the wedding. Someone who can blend in, and perhaps make me look less like a socially inept hermit." He braced himself for rejection, perhaps a quiet, professional chuckle. Instead, Clara considered him for a long moment, her gaze unreadable. "You want me to pretend to be your girlfriend, Mr. Hartley? Just for the day, for the ceremony and reception. I'll compensate you handsomely, of course." He felt a flush creep up his neck. It would be a tremendous favor. A slow, genuine smile finally spread across her face, transforming her features. "All right, Mr. Hartley, but on one condition." Elias blinked. "Anything?" "You have to promise to try and have fun, even if it's just a little bit." And that was how Clara, the housekeeper, found herself being whisked away by Elias's personal stylist an hour before the wedding. Elias, meanwhile, paced his study, a mix of anxiety and a strange, unfamiliar excitement churning within him. He'd never truly seen Clara outside of her uniform, always associating her with crisp aprons and polite efficiency. What would she look like? He got his answer when he saw her descending the grand staircase. The stylist had worked wonders, but it was Clara herself who was the masterpiece. She wore a dress of deep emerald green, its fabric shimmering softly as she moved. Her usually neat bun had been styled into loose waves that framed her face, and a touch of makeup highlighted her luminous eyes. She wasn't just beautiful. She was radiant, exuding a quiet confidence that made every other guest seem to fade into the background. Elias felt his jaw go slack. His mother, Evelyn, ever the matriarch, approached them, her eyes narrowing slightly as she took in Clara. "Elias, darling, who is this lovely young woman?" Before Elias could stammer out an explanation, Clara extended a graceful hand, her smile warm and genuine. "Hello, Mrs. Hartley. I'm Clara. It's so wonderful to finally meet you properly." Her voice was smooth, poised, utterly convincing. Elias watched in silent astonishment as Clara charmed his mother with anecdotes about the estate's rose garden and a shared appreciation for vintage porcelain. He realized, then, that Clara wasn't just pretending. She was effortlessly captivating. Throughout the ceremony, Elias found himself stealing glances at Clara. She laughed at the appropriate moments, dabbed a tissue discreetly during the vows, and even managed to subtly nudge him when he almost missed standing up for a prayer. During the reception, she navigated conversations with formidable business partners and eccentric aunts with an ease that Elias could only dream of. He watched her dance with Beatrice, twirling gracefully, and then with an elderly uncle, patiently listening to a long, meandering story. He saw not a maid, but a woman of intelligence, wit, and profound kindness. When the live band struck up a slow song, Clara turned to him, her emerald eyes sparkling. "Care for a dance, Mr. Hartley?" He hadn't danced in years, certainly not in public, but her hand, warm and surprisingly firm, drew him onto the dance floor. As he awkwardly placed his hand on her waist, and hers rested lightly on his shoulder, a strange calm settled over him. They moved slowly, Elias initially stiff, but gradually relaxing into her rhythm. Her scent, a delicate floral unlike the overpowering lilies, enveloped him. "You're quite incredible, Clara," he murmured, the words surprising even himself. She smiled up at him, her eyes crinkling at the corners. "And you, Mr. Hartley, are not nearly as socially inept as you pretend to be." He chuckled, a genuine, unforced sound. "Is that so?" "Yes. You just need to stop thinking so much and start feeling." As the evening wound down, and guests began to depart, Elias found himself reluctant for their charade to end. He walked Clara back to the staff entrance, the quiet of the night a stark contrast to the earlier revelry. "Thank you, Clara," he said, the words inadequate to express the gratitude swelling within him. "You truly saved me." She turned, her hand reaching out to touch his arm, a gesture that sent a jolt through him. "I had fun, Elias." She used his first name for the first time, and it felt right. "You kept your promise." He found himself leaning in, drawn by an invisible force, his usual shyness momentarily forgotten. Her eyes widened slightly, but she didn't pull away. And then, in the soft glow of the porch light, he kissed her. It was a tentative, unsure kiss at first, then deepened, fueled by the unexpected connection that had blossomed between them throughout the day. It wasn't the kiss he expected to share with a stranger hired for a wedding, but with the woman who had, in one unforgettable day, shown him a glimpse of himself he never knew existed. When they finally parted, breathless, Clara simply smiled. "Good night, Elias." "Good night, Clara," he replied, his voice a little shaky. He watched her disappear inside, leaving him alone under the vast, starlit sky. He realized, with a startling clarity, that the wedding hadn't just been a performance. It had been the beginning of something entirely real. And for the first time in his life, Elias Hartley, the shy billionaire, felt not the weight of expectation, but the exhilarating lightness of possibility.